So, yeah, Faith in Football's a charity that's been running now for coming into its 10th year. Our aim for our vision for the charity is to give young people the opportunity to go forward in their lives. So whether it's encouragement, aspiration, being in an environment that's safe. We just want to give people the opportunity to express themselves and move forward in their lives and recognise that the environment they live in isn't the only environment, and there's a lot more out there, and there's a lot of hope for themselves.
Brilliant. How has Faith in Football helped you?
Yeah, Faith in Football's helped me, I think, in a way that I've been able to engage with the community. There's different areas around Portsmouth that have got different needs, and being able to be in there and see it all happening, sort of be a voice that can encourage and help, has allowed me to grow, allowed me to realise that where I am in my life is a great place, but what I've got, the gifts that I've got, I can give to other people and help them, encourage them as well. So Faith in Football's allowed me to grow and understand different environments that surround me.
Oh, that's good. So is that all what you do at the Pompey Study Centre? You help them study and initiate them and help them in the community and stuff?
Yeah. I think with the study centre, it's an umbrella. It's an umbrella of different initiatives to do with education, to do with sports, and fortunately enough, Faith in Football are under that umbrella, as is in the facilities that we can use. As Faith in Football, our bottom line is we're Christian. We're a Christian organisation, and we try to show that morally things can be done in a way that what has been lost a little bit in the world. So that's where our standpoint in terms of that, and for us it's the church not being stuck in the building but being outside the building, and helping the neighbour and move forward. So it runs alongside all the stuff that the study centre do, and it allows us to, like I say, use the facilities and be able to engage with young people at different levels.
Brilliant. Who founded Faith in Football?
Yeah, it was Mick Mellows, who used to play for the club in the 70s. Darren Moore, who obviously played for the club for a period of 2 years, late 90s, early noughties, as they say. Myself and a guy called Steve Rolls, and it was, again, football was our main part of our life, and we've used that to engage the community and help change people's lives.
And you've incorporated other players into this, haven't you? Rory Fallon and Sean Davis.
Sol's been involved, Ben Jarney, Kanu, Lualua, and recently a player from Barnsley has just started it up there as well.
Oh, brilliant!
So it's it's moving out, and again, it's not us trying to force the issue. It's these guys who want to do it, and so we're really pleased that we're able to empower them to be make something happen in their community.
Ah, brilliant. What's your fondest memory as a player then?
Fondest memory? Probably my debut for Charlton. It was live on TV against Birmingham. It wasn't the best of game in terms of result. It was a 0-0 ball draw, but I got man of the match, and it was as anything goes, it was a lovely start to my career. Even though I had lots of ups and downs along the way, I'd say my period of time at Barnet, I wouldn't say there's an individual moment that was great, but the period of time there was brilliant because I learned to play football in a man's world, and there's been many highlights of my Pompey time. I think promotion season, the Great Escape, being written off and then sort of staying in the Premier League. Obviously Wembley, even though I didn't play, to be part of that was amazing. And you know, if you talk about goals and stuff, the 2 goals at West Ham, you know, they'd definitely be up there as well. So there's a number of different ones, but probably my debut, 18 or 19, was you know, probably the best one for me.
So did like having so much faith, did that help you through your injury period? Because it's been quite a bad injury period for you.
It did, because you know, faith for me only took shape in my life really when I was 30, 28, 29. But it really had an impact in my life at 30. You know, and I recognised that what I was doing was, in terms of playing football, I wasn't fulfilling my potential because I had so many other issues going on in my life. But you know, I was able to, through people praying with me and having scriptures from the Bible, I was able to use those scriptures to help me recognise who I was and how, you know, what I was doing, how it can be a benefit not just for me but for everybody else. So it definitely helped me through the injury period. You know, I think if I didn't have that, I'd have faith, I probably would have been in quite a dark place for a long time, because you know, if you don't know what your future is, and football's coming to an end, you know, you can worry, you can get depressed, and I know many footballers who go through that and, you know, make decisions to do things on, you know, in a wrong frame of mind. But for me, even though I knew that my knee was never going to be completely right, I knew that, you know, God had a plan for my life. So if my knee wasn't right and I wasn't going to play again, I knew there was something for me to move into. I didn't know what that thing was, but I had faith that God was going to look after me, because, you know, that's one of the things He says, that, you know, He's got a plan for my life, and I had to trust Him, and that definitely got me through, you know, some dark moments.
Oh, brilliant. What's your opinion of football fans, moving on? What's your opinion of football fans in general?
In general, I'd say, you know, every person, taken away from football, but every person wants to belong, and I think football fans have that same thing. They want to belong to, you know, an establishment, whether it's you know, Pompey, whether it's Southampton, whether it's Man United, or so I think fans, you know, are very dedicated in terms of you know, coming to games and going away to games, and, you know, giving up a lot of their lives to follow that team. So I think that's you know, in a way it can be an obsession, but I think that's passion as well. You know, and I was saying to somebody the other day that I've never been a proper football fan, because I've played in it, so I've never had the time to really be, you know, submersed in following a team. So I don't quite get how, you know, how that works, but I understand, you know, from listening to people talk who are fans of different teams, how much that team drives them and spurs them on. But I think that the main thing, that everybody wants to belong, and I think that's where, you know, football fans, you know, that passion and everything comes from belonging.
And what about Portsmouth fans, like, in particular? What do you think? How do you feel about them? Because they've shown you quite a lot of support, haven't they? So.
I think Portsmouth fans are, you know, and I'm not saying this because, you know, I play for Pompey. I think they are the best fans in terms of, if it's not a case that there's a set thing that they want, and most fans want this, but they want 100% commitment on the pitch. They want, you know, a style of football played. They want to be entertained. So, you know, that's a big thing. But I think the thing that makes the Pompey fans unique is that no matter how talented you are or not, you know, if you give everything you can for that team, for their team, then you know, they'll back you 100%. And you know, they're loyal. You know, and there is a demand that they put on the players, but they will suffer anything as long as 100% is given, and that's what makes it special. And I think, you hear this mentality, it's an island and one club on the island and all that. But I think there's more than that. I think there's a real sense that this is the fans' club, and the people that own the club, the people that run the club, the people that play, they're only taking care of the club for the fans. And I think the fans, if every fan could play, they would be out there playing as well. So I think they are one of the best.
What do you think of the rivalry between Portsmouth and Southampton? Do you reckon they could ever be friends?
I think there'll always be a core of people that will not want to be friends. I think there'll be more and more people turning to this, that it's a rivalry, but it's not going to go further than that. It's, there's not going to be a hatred there, but I think there'll always be a core who will have that hatred for whatever reason. But for me personally, I didn't know how big it was until I was involved in the game. But even for me, myself, I always wanted to see Pompey beat them, not in a horrible way, but I've got lots of friends who are Saints fans, and likewise, they can't wait to rub my nose in it when we've lost or anything like that. But it's a friendly rivalry.
Sort of banter.
It is banter, and but I don't think that, like I say, I don't think that there'll still always be a call from both sets of fans who won't, entertain any sort of form of friendliness there, even living in different postcodes and stuff like that, But I think that there will be a slight change, and I think that it won't be as intense, but like I said, I think there'll be a core who still will definitely not settle for friendship.
With this core of people, do you reckon, for their hatred of the rival fan be so great that it'd be stronger than human nature? By means, if say a Southampton fan was injured, a really hardcore Portsmouth fan wouldn't help them because they're a rival supporter. Do you agree with it? Do you reckon that would?
It depends, because I think if they had to defend an area to take away Portsmouth or Southampton, if they were to defend an area, they would team up together, and if one got hurt, they'd support that one. I think if there was and this is only my opinion, if they both one had a Pompey shirt and one had a Saints shirt on, and one got injured, I don't know, and personally, I'd be surprised if one wouldn't help the other. I would really be surprised, but in this day and age, nothing should surprise us. But I would be surprised if one didn't help the other because of the shirt colour and the name. Because if it was a child in a Southampton shirt and the Pompey fan was there and that child was hurt, would he help? If they didn't, that'd be a cold heart if they didn't. So I'd be very surprised if one didn't help the other. But you just never know.
Okay. Do you think faith in football could help fans show more respect to each other?
I think the way that will come about, faith in football could be involved in that. But to be honest, I think it's the clubs. I think the clubs really need to probably have not friendly games with the players, but friendly games with the fans. With kids, integrate the kids so that they play not as two separate identities, as one. So I think faith in football could be part of an agency that brings that together. But to be honest, I think it's the clubs who everyone's going to look to first of all to see, well, do the club support it? And if the club support it, then there will be a change. And I think it has to start very low with little children, because if it's working through them as they grow up, then their attitude to rivalry will be totally different to the hardcore that don't want to know at all.
Okay. And what do you see for the future of Pompey and yourself?
Yeah. Well, from Pompey's perspective, I just see a club that are going to be very stable. I see a club that, who know their identity. Whether you're in the Premier League or in the Championship or League One, they're going to know who they are, that they are a community club. They're going to have enough people around and within working within the club or around the club that have all got the same vision for the club. But I just see a stable club for many, many years to come. I think the foundations are different to what it's been built on before. Yes, I see a stable club. For me personally, I see my involvement with the club still being a long-term involvement. I see a lot of my stuff being done abroad as well. I've got in my heart, I really want to travel and do a lot of mission work with my family, but I believe that will be part of the DNA of the football club as well, getting people within the football club coming out to see these places and helping out there as well. And even though mission sounds like you can go abroad and stuff like that, it's mission on our doorstep, whether it's feeding the poor, looking after the homeless, looking after the elderly, that's the mission field as well. And I think that's going to be a sort of different outlook from the club, but we're in the centre of the community. So yes, I see a bright future, but not so much. I think there'll always be success on the football pitch, but I just think that the club's identity will be established, and everyone throughout the industry of football will know what Portsmouth Football Club's about.
Well, brilliant. Well, thank you very much for talking to us today.
No
it's
worries.
much appreciated.
Just while the camera's up, can you tell us more about the projects that Faith? Because talk a bit more about the project itself.
Okay.
How does it engage with the community and sort of obviously there's quite deprived areas and obviously going into them and using football to help them is quite a useful tool. So
well, if I tell you the four core projects we've got the community leagues. We do something called Extra Time Reading. We do something called Enterprise Challenge, and we run a project with a football team. It wasn't a football team originally, but they're called Heartlands FC. Heartlands United, should I say, and the community leagues was the first thing we ever started, and that was to engage the church with the local community. So what we do, we set up a little league. We first started in Paulsgrove, and we got children from 7 to 11 to come register with their parents and be put into a team. So it's individuals, and it was kids who, we wanted kids who never got picked to play and stuff like that. So it's all the kids who are in a difficult position in their lives. So we started off with that in Paulsgrove, and then that was such a success in that the church were helping, but the church were able to offer other things as well, which was great because so rather than just have the football on a Tuesday, the church could offer a youth club on a Wednesday. They could offer something else, so that it was just the church being a helping hand. And from this, we started to get invited into schools to do assemblies, to promote our leagues and everything like that. And then from this, we used to hear about children with reading problems. So we said, right, how can we help? So one of our volunteers put together some reading modules and stuff to engage the kids. And these were based around biblical stories. And these stories had simple words, repetitive words and stuff to engage the kids, to encourage them to read. But one of the things we realised, and we were told, that teachers, the pressure that they're under in this day and age, didn't have enough time to spend one-on-one with the kids to do reading. So that's where the problem was. So we got a handful of volunteers to go into one school originally to start it. One of the examples of how well it went is a little boy who had a reading age. He was year 2, so he's 5 now. I think he was on level 1 reading, so he's very, very basic. By the time the school year had finished, he was up to level 4, reading confidently in front of a large group of people. So for us, that was like, wow, this is great. So it wasn't just him, there was all different levels of these kids rising and moving forward, but their confidence grew as well. And we see these kids now, like 4 or 5 years on, and they're, you know, great kids. They're confident, they always remember what they've done, and you know, that bit of time of reading and stuff like that, and they carried that on. But they were able to help their parents as well, were able to engage with their parents, so the reading became a family thing, not just you know, something that he had to do on his own or she had to do on her own. So that extra time reading, you know, was a huge success. So we now do that in 7 schools in and around Portsmouth. We also do that in Birmingham. We do it in Plymouth as well. Enterprise Challenge was something else that, going back, this year will be our 7th year. But when we first started it, we wanted to, because of the projects we support in other countries, we wanted to take kids out of their environment in Portsmouth and let them see, you know, what it's like in India, what it's like in Africa, that the lives they actually have here can really do something with their lives, because you know, what they will see out there, they'll see that their lives are pretty good here. So the idea of Enterprise Challenge was to start a business, trade for 4 months, whatever they traded and the money that they made will support the work going out in these other countries. And there was at the end of 4 months, there's an independent panel of judges who look at the work, see how it's been recorded, and it's not a case of whoever makes the most money is the winner. There's a case of who's got the best, not the best minutes, but minutes, everything, best product, how they sold it, so everything's there for everyone to see. And the winning team went out to India to see the work going out in India, but that was all paid for, you know, free. They were, you know, free of charge. You know, teacher go out as well. But from that, again, you just see people's lives change. Even the people that didn't win, the experience they gained, you know. And we met up with a group who won it about 3 years ago, and one of the guys was saying that he's now focusing his life to business, but not only business, but business to help people in, you know, in a worse place than what he is. So his whole outlook on life had changed dramatically. So that's why when at the beginning when I was talking about how faith and football operates, we want to change lives, we want to change people's perception of where they are and how they go forward. And the last thing, Heartlands United, that was a project started by a chance, really. The local council asked us if we could help with a group of lads who were, you know, tearing up the city on a Friday night. We said, we'll help, but as long as we don't just offer them football, we offer them life skills. So this went for 2 years. We had 50 lads, that dwindled down to about 20. We said to the 20, if you want to continue this football, what we're offering you, we can put you into a church league on a Saturday, but you've got to do the life skills course with us as well. And again, we've seen, you know, huge changes in his lives. But for us, for Faith in Football, it's about relationship. We're there for the long term, and that's what we're about. So everything we do, we always look and think, right, this isn't a 1 year get in, get out. This is, you know, lifelong. And those young men who we've journeyed with, you know, it's been difficult. It's been really difficult. But the little things that we can sow into their lives, they will use to change other people's lives in time to come. And that's our thing, you know. As Christians, you know, the Bible says, love God with all your heart, mind, body and soul, and love your neighbour as you love yourself. And our neighbour can be our next door neighbour, it can be a homeless person, it can be anybody. But if we can love those people, they can love somebody else, and they can love somebody else, and hopefully, you know, I'm not saying the whole world's going to change, but it can definitely change an area and help people see and realise the potential they've got.
Oh, brilliant. Well, thank you very much. Do you got any more?
Actually, yeah, just one last question. With, obviously, it's been uptaken by other clubs and players. Do you, obviously, you've got the FA's Respect campaign, grassroots football. This sort of feels like the kind of project that could become national, because, like you said earlier, football it's a communal thing, and it's got a lot of power.
Yeah.
Would you like to see it become every club and every town, and just try and change from obviously things are quite negative, but actually everyone change their outlook and really help a lot more people. So do you think one day it could be a big project that perhaps the FA endorse?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, the PFA recognise us in what we do, and that's obviously the Players Union. And there's a lot of there's a lot of people doing lots of great work out there. I think what the thing for me that I've learned over time is that people it's got to be in their heart. So, the only reason we're in Plymouth, Birmingham and Barnsley is because there's three other professionals who have got a heart for what this is. And you can't, somebody else's passion might be for art, and you've got to say, well, if that's going to help change lives, then you use that. I think that the model of what we do can be used, at different clubs, and I think if you've got a lot more players who want to be role models, positive role models, anything can be done. So it doesn't have to be under the book of faith and football, but I definitely think, football clubs are recognising they've got a bigger responsibility, and they're filtering that down to players, that what they do and what they offer has a huge effect. So I think the FA will endorse projects anyway, but I think what they don't want to get caught in or tied into is something that alienates anybody else. So I think, like I say, PFA recognises, but there's so many players doing so many great things, and it's a shame that it's not out there and people don't know, but there are a lot.